former state representative Sid Miller is with us, a Republican from Stephenville who is running for agriculture. Commissioner, good to have you here.
Good to be with you, Paul. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. We're glad to see you. Why are you running?
You know, I was recruited to run. I received numerous calls from conservatives across the state that were concerned about this race, that there wasn't really a true conservative in it. And I also received calls from the agriculture community around the state saying, you know, we need someone that could actually be the face of agriculture. And we're not interested in someone that's using this for a career ladder. We want someone that's actually makes their living off the land like myself.
Well, I know that you have a tree farm, you raise cattle, currently a lobbyist as well.
No,
not doing that.
No,
okay,
I'm not.
So
no longer registered. I did that for a short period, about 5 months. So,
well,
but I'm in the horse business. Raised registered quarter horses. Had several world champions. Get to go to Vegas in December because my mare was horse of the year, tie down horse of the year.
Really?
Which Cody O rides. This will be that mare's 5th trip to the national finals. So we're excited about that.
Well, you're definitely plugged into the agriculture community, and you know this is a statewide race. So
sure.
Remind people who don't have ties to agriculture, why do we need an ag commissioner? What is it about the position that is important to our state and our economy?
Well, the Texas Department of Agriculture is a really wide and deep agency. People really don't realize that agency is in charge of about $1 billion. It's charged of the food stamp program, child nutrition, all the school lunch programs come through that. That's the biggest dollars. But it's also in charge of consumer protection. Our weights and measures, every gas pump in the state of Texas is checked and measured by the Texas Agriculture Department, all the scales at the grocery stores. You know, the food integrity is high priority of the Texas Agriculture Commissioner, and you know, we want to protect those mothers and their families and their young kids and make sure that they have a consistent, safe food supply and food source. Oversee all of the rural programs like rural development, stay on top of transportation, and certainly water is going to, if I'm Ag Commissioner, be the #1 issue that we're working on. Our state is growing so rapidly that our water infrastructure is not keeping up, so that'll be a top priority as Ag Commissioner for me.
Well, let's talk about water. I know Proposition 6 is before voters. Your thoughts on Prop 6?
Prop 6, you know, it's something that we need to do. We have a 50-year water plan, and it's about $50 billion. We've got $6 billion set aside, so the Prop 6 is asking the voters to use $2 billion of the rainy day fund. Not going to actually spend that money. We're basically going to escrow it and leverage it as a force multiplier to fund and secure funding for low interest loans to municipalities, cities, counties that want to do their water projects, and hopefully turn that $2 billion into 10.
Obviously, when you're looking at your career, one of the things that you were known for, you authored in the House the sonogram bill which became law.
Yes.
These things that maybe don't pertain necessarily directly to agriculture, are they reflected in your campaign, or are these things that you want people to look at your record overall as somebody running for this office?
Well, I think my conservative record obviously appeals to the conservative wing of the party, you know, the Tea Party, the 9/12 groups, passing the sonogram bill, you know, and other measures like that, but also passed numerous bills, you know, that benefit agriculture. One I got more publicity off of than anything was a helicopter hog hunting bill that I passed. And
I remember that, yeah.
Got a lot of play, but seriously, feral hogs in Texas cause $500 million worth of damage.
Yeah.
And they're starting to encroach in our urban areas. The city of Irving, Texas, with the Dallas Cowboys,
right, trapped
300 head on the Trinity River inside the city limits. So
I did not realize that.
You know, they're getting in our golf courses and city parks and cemeteries, overturning tombstones. So that'll be a priority as Agriculture Commissioner too. I'll continue to wage the war on feral hogs.
I know there'll be other times to talk and issues, but I can't let you go without asking you this. This is the last thing I'm asking, but it's one of the things that getting a lot of attention right now is that Ted Nugent, who I think Politico described him the other day as a right-wing rocker, but he is involved in your campaign.
Yes, he is.
Tell us his involvement and how you got involved.
Well,
with him.
we first became acquainted on the helicopter hog hunting bill. He took a real interest in that and offered several suggestions how to tweak that and fine-tune it, and it's been a successful program. We have 130 operators now, so it's created jobs and economic opportunity. But through that relationship, that hunting and eradication of these feral hogs, we developed that. And when I asked him to come on board and help with the campaign, he said, you bet, we're American blood brothers. We're constitutionalists. Absolutely, I want to help you.
See, how's he involved? Is he a treasurer?
He's my campaign treasurer and state co-chair with 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver.
Okay. I said that was going to be the last thing, but I do want to ask you, we mentioned water, but is there something else as you talk to the agricultural community that is on their minds that is a big concern? Obviously the drought seems to be number one.
Sure.
But anything else that...
Well, there's probably don't have time to go over all of them, but the other big thing is securing the Texas border. We have farmers and ranches all up and down the Rio Grande River that basically cannot even go on their own property in some cases. Their property values have not plummeted. They can't sell them for any price. So I intend to work with Colonel McCraw with the DPS, which I have done in the past as chairman of Homeland Security and Public Safety, and help with that, secure that Texas border and get our farmers and ranchers down there some peace of mind where they can actually go home and go to their property. So it's been good.
And I know that there are other issues, as you said, probably won't be able to get to all of it here, but one last thought very quickly.
Well, I think I'm uniquely qualified for this post. I have the conservative credentials, I have the agriculture credentials, and I have a third aspect that none of the other candidates have, is I have served on the agriculture committee, served as Vice President of the Agriculture and Livestock Committee, chaired the Agriculture and Livestock Committee, which has oversight over the Texas Department of Agriculture and oversight over the Texas Agriculture Commissioner. So I think I have a deep and vast working knowledge of the Texas Agriculture Department. So I'm not going to say that there won't be any learning curve, but it won't be much of a curve for me to get up and get running over there.
Sid Miller running as a Republican for Agriculture Commissioner, former state representative. Good to see you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
You bet. And we're back with more right after this.